Hey everybody, Aaron Fitt, Kendall Rogers with you here at the Easton Top Deck, having a great time out in Omaha. If you're in town, make sure you stop by the Omaha Baseball Village. Easton's got a great booth out there. You can sit in the old Rosenblatt seats. You can check out the full line of bats, and these great hats, by the way, are on sale. Check it out over the Omaha Baseball Village. Kendall, we got one weekend in the books. It's been a very interesting weekend of baseball. A couple of 3 seeds, the surprise teams on the left side of the bracket, Michigan and Florida State winning on the first day. Looked like maybe Auburn had a chance to pull off another upset yesterday. Heartbreaking loss for those guys. There's a lot to take in from this first weekend.
Yeah, I think you look at that first game, Michigan, Texas Tech, to kick this thing off. Last time the two teams met in Lubbock, Carl Kaufman got lit up a little bit. Micah Dallas had a strong performance. Roles reversed. Carl Kaufman, excellent once again after that UCLA Super Regional last week. He was great over the weekend against Tech. They get the win over Texas Tech, and Michigan's rolling. And then Florida State, another 3 seed, gets a win in the nightcap.
Yeah, that game was pretty entertaining also. I mean, Drew Parrish against Isaiah Campbell, 2 really hard-nosed veteran aces that both pitched very well but had to work their way out of jams a couple of times. Campbell certainly did his part. I mean, he threw 7 scoreless innings. Parrish outdid him, went 8 scoreless innings, got out of a big jam there, bases loaded situation late in the game, and then Florida State was able to push across the winning run in the 9th. So, really competitive game. But Arkansas's bats have been just kind of quiet here in Omaha, going back about the last 24 innings, going back to last year. So we'll see if those guys can get going against Texas Tech.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you look at Arkansas, they started Drew Parrish for Florida State, and one of the things, if you look at Arkansas, their average against lefties is much different than righties, and so Mike Martin kind of pushing the right buttons as usual.
And it kind of sets up nicely for Florida State now. You've got C.J. Van Eyck all queued up for Michigan, which, Michigan's got plenty of pitching too. I assume they're going with Tommy Henry. I haven't heard that officially announced.
Yeah, Criswell or Tommy Henry, you would think.
You've got 2 really good options no matter who they start. But Van Eyck, as we've talked about, Kendall, I mean, this guy's he's got a chance to be a top 5 overall draft pick next year. And he's been pitching really well down the stretch. It's been 94, 97, 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, about 98 in Baton Rouge last week. Good
changeup, got the breaking ball going now. That's a tough assignment for Michigan. But, the way Michigan's been playing right now and the way that they've been pitching, that's going to be a fascinating game.
It really will be. So we'll see what happens there. Yesterday, Vanderbilt and Louisville. Vanderbilt, Drake Fellows put together a nice performance for the Commodores. And then for Louisville, Reed Detmers did all he could do, but Louisville just could not find that key hit to beat the Commodores.
Yeah, and Detmers, to his credit, he wasn't sharp early in the game, and he battled through it. He only allowed the 1 run on the leadoff home run to start the game by Austin Martin, and then he got through 5 2/3. He gave him a chance. That game was tied late until Austin Martin struck again with a 2-run homer. That guy is one heck of a player. I mean, he was a first-team All-American for us this year as a sophomore. I think he's one of the best pure hitters in the country, but now you're seeing the power start to come too, and it's not that he's a big guy. He's just got real bat speed. He knows how to hit. He knows how to find the barrel, and it's all coming together for him. So big-time difference maker. And Vanderbilt's bullpen, too, kind of lost in the shuffle, got the job done. Tyler Brown dominant in relief.
And that's the thing about Vanderbilt that we kind of talked about in the preseason and kind of as the season progressed is, their bullpen had some command issues. Their pitching had some command issues, and in this opener, they pitched pretty well.
They did pitch pretty well, so they're going to have a good one against Mississippi State now. Let's talk about that game last night. Mississippi State was down 4-1 heading into the 9th inning and found a way to come back and win. And this was a combination of things. Obviously, Auburn made a big mistake. The tough error by Edouard Julien that allowed the winning run to score. But it took some some things to happen to get to that point. I mean, you had Jake Mangum with the leadoff double. You had a big hit by Elijah McNamee, and then you had Marshall Gilbert, of course, with the walk-off.
Then field single by Josh Hatcher to load the bases.
Single by Josh Hatcher. So, I mean, you got to give Mississippi State some credit because, yes, they benefited from an error, but they also got some hits just to come back and put themselves in that position.
And what hurts for Auburn, Edouard Julien had the home run early. He got 3 of their 4 RBIs. And then in the last play of the game, the most decisive play of the game, he's the one who has the error. So baseball can be a cruel game. But give Mississippi State a lot of credit. This is a team that looked like they were going to lose the opener. Jake Mangum gets the double. And Elijah McNamee said after the game last night, like, hey, man, I had a feeling in the top of the 9th that, we had some magic surrounding us. We're going to get the job done. And he's like, once Mangum got that double, man, it was on. So Mississippi State, a lot like Florida State, just kind of has that magical feeling about him right now. And if you're Auburn, it's disappointing because, boy, that's the way you draw it up. You had success against Ethan Small. You had a lead late in the game. Jack Owen gave you a nice start. And yet, Mississippi State found a way to win.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker for Auburn. This kind of felt like their chance. You know, they don't have a ton of arms. We'll see what they can do if they can get off the mat and bounce back from this. If you can just claw out a win in the next game, then you can reset, bring some of those arms back in the losers bracket game after that.
Yeah. And one thing about Auburn too that kind of hurts is, you know, you had to use Tanner Burns for some pitches last night. He was limited to begin with, so you kind of wonder, like, in this next game, like, is he going to be able to pitch, because he's very limited coming into the College World Series.
And I will say this: typically over the course of Cody Greenhill's career, he hasn't bounced back very well. It's kind of one of those bullets that you fire once in a weekend. He didn't throw a lot yesterday, so I imagine coming back after a day of rest, he should be okay. But you wonder, you know, how much can they get out of those two guys? How much can they get out of Bailey Horn, the talented left-hander who was so good in regionals, not as good in the super? That's going to be really key for Auburn in their elimination game against Louisville. And Louisville, I assume, will go with Bobby Miller, who's got really good stuff. So tough assignment there.
Yeah, so how about some of these matchups looking forward? You got Arkansas and Texas Tech, two national seeds in elimination game. I don't think anybody expected that. We've got Michigan and Florida State. Then on the other side, we've got Louisville and Auburn. And of course, how about Mississippi State Vanderbilt? Boy, that's going to be an absolute prize fight.
Yeah, Mississippi State Vanderbilt, two teams that I've been saying all year long were in my top three kind of inner tier contenders to win it all, along with UCLA. For me, just personally, that was my top three all year long. UCLA's out, but Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, boy, that's a marquee
That's going to be
matchup.
some big boy fighting right there.
And I don't know what exactly Mississippi State's going to do on the mound. Butch said they were going to think about it and have an answer today. Probably not Butch, Lamonis. Old habits die hard.
It's been a long weekend.
Yeah, but you know, I think JT Ginn is a possibility, but I would be kind of surprised. I suspect they'll go with Peyton Plumlee.
Yeah, I mean, and I like Plumlee, especially in this ballpark, because the big key with Peyton Plumlee is he keeps the ball low in the zone with that sinker. And in this ballpark, if you can keep it low, you've got a great chance, because that induces a lot of ground balls. So I think he actually matches up pretty well with them. But either way, like I think I like Vanderbilt. You look at Kumar Rocker last week with 19 strikeouts against Duke.
And a no-hitter.
Yeah, and a no-hitter, by the way. And so I think he's going to have a good start, and I think Vandy's going to get rolling offensively too. So we'll see.
We'll make our picks on these 4 games coming up in another video. But that's all for today from the Easton Top Deck. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're in town, make sure you stop by the Omaha Baseball Village. Check out all the stuff over in the Easton booth. But we'll see you soon.